Hey guys, we're back. The Super Business Women Show. We have now in the studio with us Cedric Frison.
Frison, you got it right.
Okay.
Come to the mic.
Yes.
Welcome, Cedric, to the show. We still have Tadora Brown in the house.
Hey.
Hey, what's happening?
Hey, how are you?
So, welcome to the show, Cedric.
Yes,
Thank you for
welcome
gracing
to
us
the
with your
Super Business
presence.
Women
All
Show.
right, okay, I finally got here. And it was all type of stuff trying to prevent me from getting here. So I'm here, let's get it.
That's right. I appreciate that. See, determination and dedication.
Yes, commitment, let's go.
I love it. So how are you? How was your week?
It's been a challenging week, you know what I'm saying, considering the work that I do. I work in a high risk, high stressful job. And so,
You're a law enforcement?
No,
scratch that from the record. No, I'm just kidding.
we just got done talking about that because the young lady had spoke and said she bought subdivisions and it was hotels.
Okay.
She had hotels.
I built subdivisions.
Okay.
Yeah,
boom.
but
My
she was
husband bought the
purchasing
land. Yeah, I was
hotels
trying
for people that were incarcerated to work, and I was like, "Oh,
okay.
we're going to be talking about that."
Cool.
Yeah, so yes.
Well, he was saying how he,
Yeah, but
stressful
actually,
environment
yeah, it is.
and
You know
high
what?
risk,
It is.
And I'm like, you police?
It's
No,
very
it
high
lines
risk.
up with them.
Oh, how so? That's interesting.
Well, I work with a high risk population, those who are at the highest risk for committing a violent crime or being a victim of one. You know what I mean? So like my company, Urban Community Unity Solutions, I do consulting work. I create, develop, and roll out my own workshops that's surrounded, centered, and grounded as it relates to nonviolence as a lifestyle.
Oh,
You have
that's good.
sponsors?
Do I have sponsors? Well, I have supporters. I have an extensive network and group of organizations that I work with. It's a lot of us.
Okay.
You know, it's a lot of us doing
So
this
how
work.
does that align? I'm circling back. How does that
Well,
align
the
with
police
you?
I put there. Let's look at the violence that the city going through. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm all relaxed. I guess
You can be relaxed, just talking to Mike. Be
Okay,
relaxed,
cool,
talking to Mike.
cool. So the question is, how do it align? The only difference is they get to legally carry a gun and have a walkie-talkie, and they have a lot of support.
walkie-talkie?
Yeah, that's how they little walkie-talkie. You know.
You talking about the police or security?
Yeah, the
Oh,
police.
Right, the security.
police.
Oh, okay.
Right, but here's where the similarities line up at, though. You know what I'm saying? As it relates to provide services and to prevent violence and preserve life. You know what I mean? I'm directly impacted, so I'm what you would call a subject matter experienced.
Subject matter expert?
Tenfold, yeah. I did 22 years in and out of Cook County Jail, Illinois Department of Corrections, right? And so at 56 years old, right, and I know I'm still flat, right?
You are. You still
Gen
flat.
X, Gen X,
Hold on.
baby.
You did 22 years straight?
No, in and out. 2 years here, 3 years there. So that make my experience a little different than someone that would go in there and get a
Exactly.
boatload of time again, they go down. So I watched the culture change over and over again. I just said I'm 56. What that mean? First generation hip hop, right?
Yeah, I'm still stuck on the alignment. I'm still stuck on the alignment.
Okay, so my purpose is to prevent violence on all levels. You can be violent in your spirit and your thoughts. It's bigger than me hitting you or you hitting me. And to break the cycle of our young men that's dying at an alarming rate. This ain't nothing new, but it has intensified if you up on current events. So yeah.
You're right, it has. And suicide is at an alarming rate now.
Yeah, a lot of stressors going on in the community.
So how can you help an individual, say for instance, since you've been in and out of jail for 22 years and you didn't go in and do a boatload. So I mean,
Right.
if you've been continuously getting back and forth in trouble.
Right. So there's, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, I was just, so that's what we call frequent flyer.
Okay.
That's
What you saying?
frequent flyer, people who go in and out of jail a lot.
Oh, that's what y'all call us? A frequent flyer?
That's what the streets call them.
I'm
Yes.
the streets.
I
don't
ain't
do that.
never heard of it before.
I'm
I'm
the streets.
listening.
I am.
Yeah,
I'm
I
the
get,
streets.
I get,
All
I
right,
get
come on.
educated.
Okay, all right, let me help you out some more. What I was saying is that, I did that 22 years in and out. Here's the setup right here. When I was mentioning about being first generation hip hop, the culture was changing right before my eyes. You had to be there. Then you add in the fact the crack cocaine era on its way that was deliberately dumped in the communities. Now you stack that on top of the violence, depression, the dysfunction that was already laced in our hoods, right? Now here come the mass incarceration wave of the 90s. You know what I mean? I could reference you to several documentaries or books that'll point this out where it was a setup. You know, I could go further than that with the
No,
red
we know.
line.
I know.
So,
we
you
know
know what I
the
mean?
setup.
Yeah,
So,
right.
100%.
So it's a setup, right? But
how did you get in?
right. So everybody
Right.
didn't fall for the setup.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So here you go. so
I'm trying not to ask the question,
Right.
but ask
No,
the question.
come on.
Everybody
Because
didn't
I
fall for the
represent
setup.
that.
Right.
Everybody
All
didn't
right.
fall for it. So what?
Everybody didn't fall for what?
The setup.
Oh, the setup.
Yeah, so
Everybody.
Some people
Now-
took different routes.
Right. So now that we all know the setup was there.
Right.
We all know that. But not everyone followed the path of the setup.
Yeah.
So that goes to still,
Right.
individuals, accountability, and that kind of stuff.
Right, and good for them. My focus is those that struggled and that fell for the trap and that got jammed up. I came home in 2015. Since then, I'm a homeowner business. I travel the country nationwide. I cannot believe. Put it like this: if I would have wrote on paper what I was expecting when I just wanted to recover my life, I would have cheated myself. Because today I'm married. I married a black girl with a bunch of black girls, beautiful home, and all these things. So my purpose is to reach the young men before they don't have to wait and go through all that. So, and it's nothing new, but like I said, it has intensified. But what the data shows is that my curriculums and my pieces, I just got back from Philadelphia, rolling it out at Penn State, 2 charter schools, 2 middle schools.
Penn State University?
Absolutely. I
Okay.
got receipts.
No. We're asking,
okay.
so this isn't a combative thing. We're asking questions just to
know.
learn.
Yeah.
For knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get it.
So here's the accolades that I want to outline for you, Cedric. You are a community activist. You are a male mentor and role model. You are a nonviolence advocate. You are an outreach professional. You are a substance misuse recovery coach. And you are an opioid overdose prevention advocate. That's a lot of shoes to fill.
Yeah.
And I know I watch a lot of TV when it comes to the different drugs and what's out here and how it's affecting our community
Girl,
and what
don't
it's
watch the
doing.
TV.
And I read your bio, and of course I know your history, and I see that you're walking this journey of helping people.
Right.
Like, you also won, congratulations to you, you also were the 2024 recipient of the 22nd Annual Black Heritage Award for Black Excellence in Community Service.
Yeah.
So
with
you-
Northeastern
with-
Illinois University.
You are
So,
correct with
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And you're board certified.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Like, how did your passion start with this? How did it start with you wanting to clear the dysfunction? How did it start with you wanting to help young men coming out of prison and not being caught in that trap, as we were discussing?
Right, and there's so many different traps. It's a tree with a lot of branches on it. Growing up out west and living in the Austin community, anybody familiar with that? We right next door to
I'm
Oak
from
Park.
the Austin community.
So you know how
I'm
Oak
off Latrobe Lake.
10-4, L-Town, baby. I'm
Madison
out
Street.
Jack.
Okay.
Yeah, let's get it. And so, you were west. So I knew right away that I was part of the have-nots, looking at how they were
My
living.
daycare center right there on Madison and Laramie.
Oh man, see now we starting to see those changes and those progresses because a lot of times
We didn't have it.
Yeah,
People always ask me, what made you open a daycare? We didn't have a daycare.
Yeah.
We had the one right there on Lake Street, you know what I'm saying, a little small one, but I brought the big one, new construction, 5,000 square feet, and brought into an academy.
Oh, we got to collab.
Yeah,
help some more people.
oh yeah,
there.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So you
I
say the
told you
word
to,
trap.
Dora.
The trap.
So you say trap.
Yeah.
So, I have 3 boys, 3 young men, 3 amazing young men. And I was a product of a teenage pregnancy.
Me so.
Yeah, my mother is only 13 years older than I am. And I think my father's 14 years older than I am. I don't think it was ever a trap for me. It was just different decisions I made. So when you use the word trap, I think of a victim, and I don't think you are a victim. I think you are sitting here today definitely is not a victim. I think you're a victor, and I think when you say the word trap, we all know it's there. We know racism exists. We know that things aren't always necessarily, patterned or set up for us in the most ideal way,
Right.
but it's decisions that we make that get us to the next path. So I don't see you falling into a trap because I don't see you as a victim.
Okay. Let me give you some glass to look at through a black man's eyes.
Talk in the mic, because I want
Let
to
me
hear
give
this.
you some glass to look through a black.
Remember,
man.
I got 3 black men
That's
that I birthed.
I'm one of them. I mean, as far as a man, I want to help you with this. What we see, we learn.
Yeah, I just said
What
that.
we learn,
Yes.
we practice.
Absolutely.
What we practice, we become.
Absolutely.
What we become has consequences.
Absolutely.
Science showed that a household that's filled where the leadership in the home is positive and have an attitude of hopefulness and that things could get better, they tend to, things tend to turn out a little better. See, sometimes
church comes
we
in.
can throw the darts at the choices, right? But we forget to look at the options. You know what I mean? And so, yeah. So your story is your story. And so, look, I got a sister. I have a sister who's very successful, and I'm so proud of her. Dig this. Her mother, her brother, and her father, the people closest to her, struggled with the elements in one form or another, and she didn't choose to go that route. I got cousins who grew up right up under me like brother and sister.
Exactly.
But guess what, though? I didn't lay it out to them. I didn't present it to them. All it takes is a little curiosity and some peer pressure to step into something. And you've seen this take down, I don't care how strong you are. Nobody's exempt for where drugs, alcohol, mental decline.
So mental decline is something that you can't control. Mental decline, mental illness is something that we don't have control over. I'm sure people who are suffering from various mental illness ailments did not wake up and say, hey, give it to me. It's an illness. It's something like a cancer that you can't avoid. However, alcohol is a choice. Drugs are a choice. Hence the reason I don't do either.
But good for you. Let me help you with this. This is why I created a practice, right? I created a practice called holistic lifestyle repositioning, and anyone can benefit from it. And what it is, the meat and potatoes is about navigating the community of self, because you got the quarterback, you the CEO of you. So when we start there, and I use the backdrop of Martin Luther King's beloved community model, console self, educate self, do what's necessary to sustain self, celebrate self. And after practicing this, right, now I'm ready to do that with the community. You see, now that I've done this, and I'm almost 10 years in the game with it, the community consoles me now. The community educate me, rally around me and celebrate me, and they connect with me to help sustain me. Now here's where I put my dig in there. I came up. Yeah, it's like my approach or my pedagogy.
Okay.
Meaning my teaching style.
Okay.
Right. So my approach is to start with 7 days, 7 ways. I got principles for every day, and now it has become intuitive. Why? Because it's my practice. Church, mosque, and different things like that. I understand religion. Religion is just a practice. I ran the streets religiously. I got high and partied religiously because that was my practice. So what I got right now, I can't give you the long form, but the short form is 7 days. Sunday is about preparation. Set it up Sunday. Make a move Monday is about action. Those are the principles. Tuesday is about take it Tuesday. Take any opportunity. Spiritual principle of Wednesday is reflection. Where were we? Good, bad, ugly. Come full circle to gratitude. Commitment on Thursday, a thorough Thursday. Cross T's, dot I's, did I deliver? And it dictates what Friday gonna be. Fast forward to fall back, right? If I didn't deliver the deliverables, then I need to go back in the lab, see where it worked. This has helped me break those cycles, procrastination, and I ain't got perfect at it, but it's about progress.
Practice.
Growth before status, right? So yeah, and by the way, I belong to I'm a what you would call a proud card-carrying member of the Church Earth, Wind, and Fire.
So, what's that?
The Church of Earth, Wind, and Fire.
No, I know.
That's my concept, because the group Earth, Wind, and Fire music is one of the things I use too, as far as the therapeutic value in it. And
So we equate
Earth, Wind, and Fire. You can't find a song that they don't talk about love, harmony, and principles. That's why, because somebody asked me what church I belong to, and I said that, and I've just been rocking with it ever since. And so, and lastly with that, I am what you call a theosophist. Because while I was gone, I studied. A theosophist, meaning I study all culture, all religion, all science, all philosophy. I don't rest on no one's understanding, right? And I don't rest on my own. There's a little space in between right and wrong. I like to meet people right in there, especially when they think they know what they're talking about.
You know, I just, by me listening to this, no, I'm just saying, because I'm a product of the West Side, and my mother and father we lived in one of the big houses, and I still chose to do what I wanted to do.
Me too.
I mean, regardless,
Me too.
it doesn't, I don't care if you came with 7 principles or 8. if I decided I wanted to go this way, that's the way that I was going. It just was that simple. So nobody can tell me anything because of my mind, and I was dealing with the spirit of rejection, not knowing that I was rejecting the love that my parents was trying to give me or show me. It was all about me. I wasn't able to receive that at that time. As when I got older, I could understand that it wasn't about my parents because they did the best they can do. It was about the choices that I decided to make. It had nothing to do. Once I got out of grammar school and I was on my own in high school, it was over with. I could do what I want to do. I can get on that bus on my own. I went to Steinmetz. Then I went to Foreman. I got kicked out of Steinmetz, got kicked out of Foreman, and wound up graduating from Austin.
Boom.
Okay? You already know. So Austin. So I graduated from Austin in 1997. I'm saying this to say that I was going to ask you this question, even with your principles and with your curriculum and what you're providing to the community, how many people or how many of these individuals that you're teaching? I'm not talking about out of state. I'm talking about here in Illinois, in Cook County. I'm just preferably Cook County because DuPage has their own thing.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying here in Cook County, how many of these individuals that you can say have taken the route that you have given them per your curriculum and per what you have brought into the system? Because I went to Northeastern first. That was my first school. I had so I know about Northeastern. Yeah. So when you're saying, and it's not, I mean, it's probably a lot of us now, but back then it wasn't too many of us going there. No. Someone was going out of state. A lot of people was going out of state, to the southern state. But that was my question to you. What is your percentage rate?
And how are you measuring? What are you utilizing to measure your success rate?
Well, with my company, I'm a new company and rolling it out, but with my experience, now I got data that showed that, and it's based on the surveys and the kids' engagement, because that's something new for me. I usually deal with a population that's like 18 and up. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So now, the universe responded, and I ended up rolling this out to these young kids, 6th, 7th, 8th graders, and based on the emails and the texts that I get back with them speaking. See, the big thing is to have them engaged and get them.
I'm a school teacher by trade.
Boom. Well, you know what I'm talking
about.
And
that's why I'm asking about curriculum.
I did student teaching. Lord have mercy, I changed.
But my grooming, I got to get this shout out. Ready Chicago. Was an initiative, Rapid Employment and Development Initiative, and we was dealing with these high-risk young men who was at the highest risk for these violent crimes of being a victim of one, and that's very tough, but I learned so much from them as far as development, and so that's why I just started taking every class that was offered as far as restorative justice, restorative practice, conflict resolution, crisis intervention, and see, the thing about it is, because I had to approach this like, look, I have to market myself on a higher level now, you know what I mean, as a returning citizen. I even got a curriculum now that's called post-conviction success education. And so I'm going to roll this out. Now, as far as my background, I'm also got to send a shout out to my number one mentor. His name is Professor Bennett Lee. You can Google him. His name is Benny Lee. And the professor has groomed me with the practices of his organization, which is the National Alliance for the Empowerment of the Formerly Incarcerated, and it's a number of organizations. You would be surprised. I can name some people right now that are working in the mayor's office, the governor's office, all us with backgrounds. I know. And so, and what we're saying, and we like to send a shout out to the LGBTQ community too, because as a returning citizen, what I would like to see is us use some of those strategies as it relates to organizing, mobilizing, becoming a protected class in a large voting block. We just talked about this. No, we literally just talked about this.
So what's a protected?
4.1 million people in the state of Illinois are identified as convicted felons, and so that's what I want to target, at least 1 million out of that. Right.
So what you're saying as far as LGBTQXY whatever, what are you're trying to? You want the black people to become a protected class like that? You lost me there.
Right. No. If you would allow me to finish.
4.1.
Listen, 4.1 million.
I can tell you what I said.
Exactly.
4.1 million people in our state are identified as convicted felons. Mm-hmm. So what I said, what I want to take, not black people, I was saying like those of us out of that 4.1 million, if we can get half of them to register to vote and become a large voting block, that's one of the things. I heard y'all talking about expunge records, getting people. So, and I've been to a couple of states.
Let me. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I want, because I want to. When I say something, I want to make sure it's clear. Come on. So I wanted to know, when you said I want to send a shout out to the LGBTQ community as far as protecting.
Right.
That's what
That's why
mobilize.
I interrupted. That's why I
Yeah.
interrupted, because
Yeah.
I wanted to know. I was saying we were just talking about this, how you can be protected being an illegal immigrant. You can be protected. We're black people. We are not protected anymore.
That's exactly what I was
That's the
asking
reason
him
why.
when he
So when you shouted that out,
balance.
I just wanted to bring it
Okay.
to you. I just
All right,
wanted
cool,
to
cool,
know.
Cool.
That
All
was
right.
it. Yeah.
Let me say it like this then. My focus is to help returning citizens and those with convictions. My other 1-2 punch is about healing and promoting nonviolence. So I was speaking about my population being a returning citizen,
Okay.
an ex-offender,
So,
convict.
normally-
so if I can get 1 million out of that 4.1 million people with convictions in our state to move to change policy.
Listen.
Yeah.
Before I was going to run for the Illinois State Rep, but I already know that the bills that I bring to the office, they're not going to change them. Okay? Let me tell you how strong it is. That's the thing. And I'm saying this because you can bring a bill. It may take a day. It may take a year. It may take 2 years. It may take longer than that. But understand that when these bills go to Springfield and we have people advocating for us, who are they thinking about when they're going to the table? You understand? Just like we were just talking about this right before you came. Our governor spent a lot of money, okay, to make sure that certain people stay in office and continue to stay in office, okay? When we're not, where's the black people being protected? You can protect any other group.
Definitely.
I'm just saying,
I'm
saying this. You can protect any other group. But when it comes down to me and you and I, we're not protected.
This is obvious.
So that's what I wanted to say.
Who are we advocating for in real life? Just like you said, 4 million people won't vote. I mean, you want to get at least 1 million of those to register to vote, right? If you can get 1 million of those to register to vote, are they going to vote locally? That's where it starts.
Yeah.
And if they vote locally, are they going to vote for the correct policies?
Well, they have to have the opportunity to do so. If the opportunity is not there,
the opportunities
The part is there. They can vote.
You can vote.
They can vote.
Convicted felon.
Yes, you can.
In Illinois,
You can vote.
you may vote.
You can vote.
A lot of people have given up on the they don't trust that. At first,
But they may not even know it.
So
That's the thing, not having the knowledge.
Let me say this to you, Mr. First. I'm gonna walk it back.
Okay.
What I was asking you was to be clear. You speak, extremely quick, and I was trying to catch it and be clear.
Okay.
What I wanted to know is you mentioned protected class. How does that relate? And then you mentioned black people. And you referenced LGBTQ. You mentioned
LGBTQ.
that. Yeah, you mentioned that. So I wanted to know, what did you mean by that? You said it really fast and you glossed over it. So I wanted to take it in and understand it.
Right. Okay.
That's why I asked.
All right, let me make it clear. I represent those with felony convictions in the state of Illinois. When
Gotcha.
I referenced the LGBTQ community, I looked at how they mobilized, organized, and became a protected class in a large voting bloc.
Got it.
I'm looking at if I can get my population,
To
my
do the
people.
same
I ain't
thing.
just talking about
Same
black
thing that
people.
they're doing.
I'm not
Got
just talking
you.
about black. Yeah,
So
I'm sorry.
I interpreted it because it went by so fast.
Yeah.
That's why
Okay.
I wanted to stop you so that I can.
So we're on the
understand
same
that.
page.
Yes,
We want to get our
exactly.
people to vote.
Yeah,
we want to get.
yeah.
You definitely
And it
want
took
them to
all
vote.
that,
Yeah.
right?
And you want
It's
them to
okay.
vote for
And that's why I say
everything.
communication is everything.
It is.
Because
It's
sometimes
effective
we
communication.
talk quick.
We learned about effective
Yes, there we
communicating.
go.
Effectively communicating. So with
Yeah,
that being
active
said,
listening.
that too.
Yeah.
So let me ask you. I was reading your bio and I just look at things that you do for the community. I see you when you're out of state, but I noticed that you said that you have a transformed platform. What do you mean by that?
Man, I'm the evidence. I'm the evidence of that change. I'm the evidence, along with my peers. I'm the evidence of that change. And it had to be a mindset change. It had to be some different practices. I had to break some cycles. And so the platform that I push, it's all positive. Your social media tells you a lot about you. It says a lot about you. Your first 5 posts as it relates to marketing, what people think. When you go on my page, I'm always pushing positivity. I'm always pushing for healing. My story ain't unique. Like I say, it's a lot of us. And I'm talking about in some big places, too. I'm really proud of the movement and the progress that we've made in the last 10 years as far as policy change and a lot of people healing and getting themselves together.
With this administration, the new administration we have, I think that there will be even more inroads being made toward that.
Yeah, that's true. But you just gotta be patient. You gotta be patient.
You gotta understand a lot.
It's gonna take
He's
some
a little
time.
sensitive to stuff.
It's gonna take some time. It's not gonna happen.
Oh no,
overnight.
man! Please don't like. I'm a very witty dude, and I got that energy. Like, and I'm a magic. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, like, and then the topics that we're talking about, it's easy to, you know, it triggers things because we done been through some stuff. Like, I take like this so serious to me because I know how this story could have turned out. And far as the platform, I'm an example of what that looked like.
So you are the evidence of
So, Mr.
the transformation is what you're saying.
Yes,
So,
and this is how I did it.
Frison?
Because
Frison.
it's been
Frison.
Yeah.
So I have to get it. I'm at an age of like my mom. I just get.
It's
my
all right. I
names.
did a lot of good drugs in the 80s.
I've never done it, so it's no excuse for me.
Okay.
Wait,
No
not good drugs.
Yeah.
You did good drugs in the 80s?
Yeah. I'm just trying to break some of the...
So let me ask you, since you're trying to break some of the cycles, what is in your field, in this journey? I'm gonna go a little further and say, in your passion, because you're passionate about this.
Yeah.
I feel your passion just sitting here. Like, it make me want to do what you do, but I'm okay with the numbers. I'd rather deal with numbers. Like, give me a headache that way. But what is most rewarding to you when you're doing what you do? When you're going out speaking, when you're talking to young men, when you're reading your text messages, when you're reading your emails, at the end of the day or at the end of the week, what is most rewarding to you based off what you're doing for your community?
All right, cool. So the biggest thing for me is to see the work, the young men level up and start having these small successes and leading to larger ones. Shout out to capital G-O-D that's giving others dreams. My girl Celia Colin over there. I used to do the training and supervising for her peacekeepers over there, and that was over a year ago. And I went back over there to speak about a week ago, and they are still doing good in school. A couple of my authors, you know, just to see a lot of those cycles get broken and see people step towards their purpose.
Mr. Frison, quick question. Are you located on the West Side, your organization on the West Side with the boys?
No, I work with a number of organizations with that. Okay. It's like on certain days, because I work as a consultant, and so I'm over here for 3 days, I'm over here for 2 days, I'm over here for...
So if we had someone to make a reference, if I met a little boy and I wanted to make a referral, or, you know, I wanted to refer him to you, how would someone get in touch with you, and what would their program look like for them?
All right, so to contact me, everybody got my number, 312-841-6431.
Wait, everybody.
Everybody got my number. Because a lot of my work that I do don't have nothing to do with my job. You know, that's why I know it's a covenant with the universe. I promise you, because people call my phone. Hey, said, man, my mother just, hey, said, these people looking to hurt. Hey, man, I get those kind of calls. It never did stop once I stepped into the arena of victim advocacy and violence prevention. And so to answer that question,
it's like you wear so many hats.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you work with any of the like the churches or like the pastors in the community?
I think it's very important to connect with the faith-based organizations. You know, I'm cool with a lot of pastors on the West Side. I moved out south over east about 5 years ago. Man, I represent the state of Illinois in Chicago. You know, and like, yes, and I love my city, and there's no other city like it. And you know what? I have to be honest, too. It does have a high percentage of haters in it.
Yes,
you know what I mean? And gatekeepers and those that circle the wagon. That's why my company, Urban Community Unity Solutions, if you look at the acronym, that's why it says U.C.U.S. You see us fighting for equality. You see us trying to, you know what I mean? That's the whole concept of that.
I'll say this to you, to haters. You give them absolutely no energy. You know how you stump them? By keep doing what you're doing, how you're doing it, and why you're doing it.
Oh,
so
man.
we zero them out with zero energy.
I can't, though. I'm chosen.
You got to dry them out.
No, see, hold on. I'm chosen. I'm summoned to fight them. See, certain energies, they pop back up. You don't just kill them once. They'd be like, I dealt with you before. I thought I killed you back then. I thought I got you back then.
So I guess we're talking about different
we just
I'm talking about different
energy,
energy, spirit. It's a spiritual.
Spirit.
Hey, let me tell you something. Everything starts and ends. I believe this. Everything starts and ends with the condition of your spirit. If I'm drawing off my higher self, that's what's going to dictate my steps. You know, we all can be very bad if we want to.
Yes.
And we all can choose to be
very good.
Nice. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, and yeah, I'm aware of that. I'm so aware of that. And the universe responds to me. You know what I mean? And
So I thought I killed you.
yeah, I run into somebody and they had the same spirit that I battled with somebody, and now I'm aware of it. You know what I mean? Like, okay, and so I'm not gonna like, oh, I'm gonna leave you alone. No, let's get it. Come on,
well,
let's get it, right?
Let me ask you this then, since you're talking about you thought you killed the spirit, like that goes into one of my other questions. Like, at the end of the day, and you reflect on your day, your week, your month, is it a time where you sit and think, what if I would have did this differently? Did I touch just this one person? Did I heal just this one person? Is there more I could have done? And if so, what would I have done differently than now? Do you have those times where you sit and reflect on that?
Yes, because I'm a total empath.
And what do you do with that?
I'm a total empath. You know what I mean? Sometimes I have to avoid people eye contact because I absorb what they going through. You know what I mean? And so, but now that I've learned and educated myself on that thing, I'm aware of it. Because, you know, depression meet me on the foot of my bed in the morning. I'm like, oh, okay, this what we on. Let's get it then, you know? And so, you know what I mean? And so
you have a talk with depression.
Man,
There's
you know,
nothing wrong with that.
Yes, and that's how I battled it. I hope I'm answering the question because when I look at it, I'm always wondering what I could have done better. I could show at least 15 pictures right now of young, handsome black men who died, who I was mentoring. You know what I mean? And I can show you another list of them who grabbed on to what we was rolling out and they found a way to sustain and hang on, right?
One of the things I think is removing yourself from the environment. What would you say to that?
That can help. You know what I mean?
Help, but sometimes you always find yourself back there.
You have to. Never leave. You never forget where you come from.
Not that.
You saying relocating in the name of a new beginning?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying like you have a bad kid, mama said on Mississippi, and they find the same bad people to do the same bad things with. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when someone's totally made a decision.
Oh yeah.
To change things.
Yeah.
I think after you've made the decision, change of environment. So I'm not seeing the same people doing the same things in the same neighborhood.
Oh man, that is one of the biggest forms of self-care that you can do. That is definitely harm reduction. That's something that I promote also. You know what I'm saying? You can do self-care. Self-care bigger than a pedicure. Okay?
Right, exactly.
Self-care is avoiding conflict. Self-care is not going in that hot gas station where you know it's one way in, one way out and stuff. Right. You know what I mean? We had to think like that.
So I think of it as PTSD, but you know.
What is that?
Post-traumatic stress. I'm going into a gas station and I'm making the assessment, it's one way in, one way out.
Yes.
There's no way. You know what I mean?
Yep.
The cars can only go this way, no cars can go that way.
You checking all that
out.
So
I'm checking all that out.
That's definitely
that's PTSD.
Yeah. But I'm gonna help you with something. Guess what I found out? When I started thinking, I'm gonna tell you something, when you're intelligent, you just can't get away from certain things. You can't I'm just playing. That was arrogant. Right?
That was true. Tell your truth. I like it. I love it.
No, I was just tripping right there. But yeah. Go ahead. I was just
fun. So let me ask you about U.C.U.S. Did you just? I do see you. I right there. U.C.U.S.
Yes, U.C.U.S.
So how did you come up with the name? Did you have it right then and there? Did it take you some time to come up with the name, or did you just put together a portfolio and say, this is what this company should be, and this is why? I'm
there now. As I'm finna do this soft rollout in this launch, coming up with it, I was thinking about who am I? You know what I'm saying? What is the message that I bring? And I'm all about community. The destruction of a nation begins within the home of its people, And I'm about unity. And I'm urban,
So that's how we see it.
Yes, and we're looking for a solution. We know the problem. We could point out a bunch of problems, but let's move towards the solutions. And that's what it's about. It's about consulting. It's about building. It's about legacy. It's about igniting and triggering the creativeness in our young people, speaking to the leaders in them.
But who are the leaders now?
Who are the leaders? Well, you know what? I am, and I can name a few people that I know who are good fathers, good parents.
No.
What you mean, like politically or
No, like in
visual?
the streets. Like, so you say.
Oh, right. Well, you know what? There's a
Because back in the
couple
day, you know,
you had some of that,
you
right?
had that,
So
yeah.
you got a few of us that still left. That's classic OGs that still hold on to some of those old school. That still hold on to some of those old school values. I'm telling you, it's a lot. Like you would be like the life I live, even in the struggles. It's a beautiful struggle, but I'm in awe of the people that I be around who still have tenacity after serving 30 years. I had a brother who served 35 years. He was innocent. This man had audacity to come home and be loving and caring. You know what I mean? Men and women. But I'm 35 years of your life. You know what I mean? But I'm saying to make it
But
through
it's
that.
all about perspective, though. Too.
Hey, okay.
So if he wanted to hold on to what had happened to him, and woe it's me, he could have. It's all about, thank God I'm here. I'm gonna love and embrace what he's giving me.
Let me send him a shout out too. This is my big homie. They call him Friday. They call Brother Friday. He has an organization called. That's his nickname, but he has But the important thing is he has an organization called the Mud Theater, where they do plays and oh man, beautiful stuff. Mud Theater, yeah.
So another question for you.
Yeah.
Since you said that everything starts with loving and caring and stuff in the home, do you think that there's room for us to educate parents, and there should be some advocacy for them in correcting their behavior and their focus? I know the church does some things, but we still need more help in that area.
Boom, you are right on time. See how the universe respond. We working on it right now. Shout out to Dory. That is on District Outreach Initiative. We working on something right now. Because just like U.C.U.S, I have a component I'm working on called I See You. Okay. And guess what that stands for?
What?
Intergenerational community unity.
Okay.
See, we got younger strength, middle strength, older strength. You know, the younger strength is our warriors and our women, our fierce, all that's going on. Again, you got my generation, which is the glue to the bridge or whatever. And we have our elders who is the wisdom keepers.
I found this interesting.
Yes.
Someone I read, and I can't quote it because it was probably 3 months ago, but it equates to this. They said that they took the men out of our homes, right?
Yeah.
And then and that didn't break us. Then they destroyed the women with realigning our goals, or just distracting us with other things. The migrants came here, and their focus is to keep their family together as a unity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting at best.
And it's true.
Yeah. One of the factors in that, though, is that they came here with their family intact.
Not all of
Not
them.
intact. I understand where I'm going with it. When I mean by intact, I mean mentally intact. It's like that we are a family. When they brought our people over, they broke them all up against their will coming.
Yeah, but
when somebody come here and they want to come here, that's a little different.
But what I'm saying is we were here
With our families.
with our families,
And they took them out.
remember when we needed help, when the Black community needed help, you couldn't have the father in the house
Ain't that
if
something?
they wanted to help. That didn't work. We were still producing. They were saying that's what it wasn't an article, it was like a post. She was saying that we're still producing, we still were doing things, we still were producing really good kids and successful.
Yeah.
And then they distracted the mother. They gave them inches and baby daddies, and they sliced the moral.
You speaking about when to get some assistance with the food stamps and all,
So
the man
back
couldn't live in the
day,
house. Right.
Back in the
That
day,
started.
they
That was part
removed the
of it.
dad out of the house
Yeah.
because the dad couldn't be there if they were getting assistance.
Man.
And then
Have any one of you guys ever been on assistance?
What?
So I have, and I know.
That a trick question? Wait a minute. What
I'm
was
asking
Was
it-
it a
look,
trick
I
question
asked
about some food stamps?
Food stamps, public aid, whatever you want to call it. I'm asking that question because what she's saying is true.
Yeah.
Because when I
always
first
told me I
applied
was
for it, they wanted
qualified.
me to give my baby daddy name, and I didn't, so I got denied.
Wow.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah, no,
So-
and they still do that now when they
you gotta
ask you
give
for
you gotta give
applications. You have to give that information.
So what if you don't know? What if you like some of these
You got to
women,
give a name.
You have to.
So
Or they're going to
I
pull
was
birth
in the club.
certificates.
Well, you can pull birth certificates.
They don't
They
even
don't know.
sound right.
They don't. Half of them don't even know who these people are. So that's really you. So I'm required, in order to get assistance, I'm required to produce a birth certificate or a name.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are validating what that girl wrote in that post.
I'm telling you. That's what made me bring it up, because when I'm listening to you talk, I'm like, well, I can attest to this because I've been through this. In order for you to get anything, you need to tell on your baby daddy.
Right.
I don't care if he's helping you. I don't care if he's whatever.
Another trap.
But I was going to say it's going back to the setup.
Yeah.
From when back in the 1980s. I was just born in 79, but I know a lot. You know, that was
79. Boy, some good music came out then. I don't want to lose this thought. You know what? I had lost my thought on I'm sorry, because I got to get this out. It's
That's
me and
okay.
2 other people. Now I get the eavesdropping on them and miss my point.
Ain't nothing wrong.
Post. What is it? Post-traumatic stress syndrome.
Yeah.
So I push back on that. I'm gonna tell you why. You know, I push back on the word post because when you look at it on paper, you send a guy off to Vietnam or overseas, and when he come back, we have to. It's post now, right? We got to get him back together. But what about when you still in the war zone? Ain't nothing post about
So that's
what's going on.
So that's true.
And a lot of
Post
us are
is
still
afterward.
there.
Yeah, right, that's what I'm saying.
That's why you get into
it.
That's why you get into
still in the war field where
I'm
the traumatic stress jumped off at.
Yeah.
You know how people say, yeah, I jumped off the porch at this age. All right, meaning this is when I started to venture out and doing stuff. Well, I didn't have to jump off a porch. I just opened my bedroom door.
And
played out right there.
Your mama didn't get you and wheel you back in and.
Well, you know what? My mother, bless her heart, she Johnny May.
Yes, Johnny May.
Let me tell you
Bosin.
something. My mama did the best she could under the conditions that was handed to her, and always loving, even through her struggles and all. Always been my ace, coon, boom. Because even through the madness, we've always had a relationship where we can talk. My mother had 2 kids, me and my sister, on the same day, 7 years apart, February 23rd, 223. That's your son's birthday?
I
Cool.
understand.
Your son 26? Go ahead, good stuff.
I understand you now. You're a Pisces. I get it.
Oh, man.
I get it. I understand you.
Right, yeah.
You were going to do the darn thing. I got you.
Yeah, you're going to either get a cute tropical fish or you're going to get a shark. It depends on how you know.
Yeah, I done seen both of them. I done seen both of them. So let's talk about how do you help our young men that's coming out from being incarcerated? How do you give them that safety nest, especially if someone has been in the prison system for so long? How do you break that cycle? First of all, it's going to start with some type of trust. Because if I'm coming out, I have to have some type of trust.
Girl, how you know he
To
needs trust?
trust.
You ain't never been there. You a goody two shoes.
Hey.
I'm so not a goody two shoes.
But you know what? To answer your question, for real, like the first thing, there's a twisted comfort in familiar pain. A twisted comfort in familiar pain. We creatures of habit. And a lot of times when things don't go right, we'll return to what we know. Even when we know this might not turn out okay. But so to challenge that, to combat that, when someone come to me just coming home, I plug them with the right people. We're gonna do a needs assessment. And we're gonna see where you're struggling at the most, and we're gonna highlight that.
Is this by choice or is this like a program that they making them go?
Well, you have some where some of the clients are mandated, to come. It might be a diversion for them to avoid getting a conviction. But I definitely love the ones that come to me that's looking for help. You know what I mean? Because then that they pass the contemplative stage of change, and so now, and then you got to look at the isms that we come from. You know what I mean? And growing up on the west side of Chicago.
I have a really important question.
Yeah, come on.
And I wanted to know, with all the money and the funds that's being poured into the diversion programs, and the numbers of ag bats and homicides still soaring, what do you think is missing? Like what's misfiring? What's not allowed?
Oh man, this is a simple one. I'm so glad you asked that. They should just fire all them and put us in play. And when I mean us, I mean lived experience, educated subject matter experts.
But I think a lot of them that I have become familiar with are subject matter experts. But
a lot of who?
A lot of the people that have the
programs.
Diversion
programs.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, the money's there, the resources are available because there's tons of diversion programs. There's tons of prevent violence programs. but the problem persists.
Right. Well, of course, you got some people in there that's stealing. You got people in there that's playing that game.
Well,
You
they
know what
just
I mean?
don't
Come
do
on.
shit.
They-
There's
and
no
then-
accountability.
but one of the things is it might look like a lot of money, but it really ain't. Go out, because listen, let me share with you. You got a million little groups and organizations, but when you get a number of what they done gave out, because I know for a fact, I look at budgets every other day, and they like, they might drop all that money. It might sound like a lot, but when you paying a payroll and you got to pay
No, I
everybody
get
out.
it, but you need to reduce the payroll. You can't have 15 people on a payroll. Maybe there needs to be 5 in order to
We
affect
definitely
change.
need some,
Somebody they getting that
Yeah,
money.
they get. I saw the money.
Three.
You can
I
go.
gotta say,
Yeah, I saw the money. I saw the budget. I saw where they're.
you know what it is
white.
too? See, I represent the blue collar hood provider, right?
What's that?
Do tell.
A blue collar hood provider. Meaning
Blue collar hood.
What is
right.
that,
That mean
though?
I'm a lunch pail worker. Like I work with what you call direct service, right?
Yes.
And so I'm down in the street, boots on the ground. I'm the little mom and pop store competing with the big organization. So I really can't speak power to how they might be handling their money.
No, I'm just saying your opinion, because we have the resources out there, but the
a change
crime
of leadership.
persists.
Honestly, a good answer for that, like I really feel in my heart, is a change of leadership. And because like right now, I'm working on a training on a training for, and this is my target population for real, for those who, let's say it like this, for those who don't have the lived experience but are educated and passionate about the work. I love training and doing workshops with professionals who provide services to high-risk populations. In other words, I'm the ticket to kick it. I'm going to show you how to handle us. Because even though you might know X, Y, and Z, you don't know A, B, and C. Because some organizations may offer re-entry services, but and I come to them with my proposal. A lot of your clients have substance use issues involved, but I tack it on those different ways as it relates to assessment. But this training I'm working on is for parole officers, probation officers, state's attorneys, public defenders, judges, anyone that provides services all the way down to a simple caring adult, as far as trying to set up and frame up our households with some more structure and some of those good vibes and those good values that we still hold on
Would
to.
you agree that we need to probably work on our value system? Because,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It starts there.
Yeah, come on. You know what? One thing why I speak on hip hop is because I've been there. You had to be there. Like you really had to be there to see this new sound, all this new stuff coming along. And somewhere it kind of got diverted and diluted and all that, because it's obvious. It's obvious when you look at the last 20 female rappers, the last 20 years of female rappers, they have been put in a position where they have to kind of talk a little raunchy in order to get some success. I'm not knocking them, you know what I'm saying? But it concerns me when I see a group of girls under the age of 10 talking about hands on your knees and let it breathe and all that. You see the videos all the time. And that's why I say the destruction of a nation begins in the home of its people. And so that's what I'm pushing. If we, like you said, educate the parents, because we need to listen to this drill music a different way. The same way we go to see a horror movie, you don't come home and want to do what Jason did to your family because these kids is acting this out.
But if you hear something constantly, you become it. Have you ever heard somebody say, if a man tell a lie to you enough, you start to believe it? Who you gonna believe, baby? Me or your own lying eyes?
That's what they
So if they say it to you enough, honestly, you start to doubt yourself.
Yeah.
So it's
Hold
almost
on,
like,
girls tell some pretty good lies too.
I mean,
I'm
just
just
using-
playing. Come on.
Well, what I'm saying is,
So do
drill
men.
music and the lyrics. I
Yeah.
killed my grandmama. It's
Yeah.
very dark. Very
Yeah.
what you
But
speak
that
about, you
sells.
become
That
about.
part.
Their sales.
So they're repeating this. They're listening to this over and
And
over
over
again.
and over, yes.
So that's who they become. That's their manifestation.
So how do we challenge that? We can't stop her from listening to it, right? So like my son,
You can.
I got
You
you can.
And you can monitor what they listen to a certain degree.
Good luck.
In your household.
house.
Yeah.
Their house,
And
but they're gonna
monitor-
leave the house.
Well, they will leave the house, but you monitor where they go. You choose their friends. You got to be a parent. Seriously, I did that.
And this is
Okay.
one of the reasons why I got rid of my daycare centers, because I seen the shift. So they would come in high. I'd be like, I can't let your baby go with you. You cannot come in. You can't
You
come
smell like weed.
What?
Yes.
They would come
okay.
in. I can smell the lick on your breath. Come on now. You want me to do two things? I'm a mandated reporter. So what do you want me to do? This is how they would come and pick up their children. But they thought because I'm Miss T, I'm so cool, she'll let them. No.
I'm in a grocery store the other day.
It's not gonna
Lady
work.
got 3 kids, high as a kite.
Should've called
The
DCFS.
kids. I made a call.
Okay.
The kids was reeking of it too. I bent down to, get the thing off the jelly off the bottom of the shelf. And I'm like, the kids smell like this nonsense too. So we just got to do better. Seriously, we got to do better. We're coming to a close to the end of the show, but I wanted to ask you this. One last.
All right, I want you to ask that though, but I want to point out something with women. So like with our sisters, you smell weed on them, and they might be going through something. You know what they make me think about?
They might be going through something.
Yes.
No,
let me finish.
But don't come pick up your kid.
No, I get that part. No, what I'm saying is a trigger came back to me where I thought about how they did our women in the 80s. Remember when they was talking about crack babies? You know what I mean? And women were scared too. They were struggling with this. And they were locking women up because they were struggling with drugs. Like, that's like attacking the person instead of the behavior and the problem.
Right.
I wasn't saying that's what I was doing. I was saying that just made me think about it. Girls run the world. If you ain't taking care of black girls, you in trouble.
Well, that's the reason why.
Yeah.
But they expunge. So the state of Illinois now will expunge crimes for juveniles without their assistance, without them doing anything. Do you think that can be a curse and
That's
a
been
blessing?
like that though.
No, they just started.
No,
doing
when
you
I
saying,
got
where
arrested,
did it just
I
go
got
off?
arrested at 14. As long as I didn't get in trouble anymore,
Did it
it
just
fell
fell
off your it falls
No,
off.
they automatically will send the expungement papers.
Oh, okay. You talking about they got a campaign for that where they trying to get that
Well, it's done.
process speed up.
It's done.
Yeah.
If you get arrested as a juvenile, but then, I had someone say to me, it was a whole debate. She says, do I want somebody sitting in a classroom with my kid that has been arrested 5 times for this particular crime? Do I want them sitting next to my kid?
And that's a good question. That's the best
That's a
lesson.
good question.
And I think about that. And before we get it, first of all, Anointed Accounting just wants to say thank you for coming out.
This mine?
That's yours. U.C.U.S. from Anointed Accounting. That's yours. Thank you for coming out.
Okay.
But I thought about that when it was actually a gentleman. He was new to me. He came to me, and my question was, why you ain't filed taxes in 10 years? He said, I've been locked up. Well, that's a good reason why you haven't filed. What did you go to jail for? He said, breaking and entering. Okay. So I'm looking at his paperwork. You work for a security company. He said, who would you hire? Someone that knows how to get around it? Or someone you don't know? And I get that because
he can't be a licensed security guard because he has a background.
It doesn't matter if he's licensed. The fact is that he works in that particular field and he's able to do it. And as I sit and I thought about it, I would want someone to come and put up a security system for me that has that background, because see, you're going to know what to do. You're going to know what to look for.
I would
not take them.
I wouldn't
take them.
Wasn't it Blue Street?
I know what you're saying.
Yes.
A lot of people get hired. A lot of ex-criminals get hired for loss prevention because they
know.
Who better know how to?
They can catch it.
Loss prevention is different than security.
Oh,
because you can't get a
totally
security
different.
license. You have to go to the IDPFR.
But see, this would be a whole nother conversation because this can go back to
the county.
Yes.
Where they're hiring these different people that have. I'm just saying, and then you wonder why your house is getting broken into or something like that.
Yeah, but if you have that, that's just like with my system. Like the guy that came and installed my system, we were debating back and forth because he was like, "This is the panic code number," and I'm like, "No, I want to change it." Well, no, this is no, because you work for them, so you know this is the number. What if you try to come get me at night?
You know, what company was that?
So, no,
not saying it out loud, but
I'm just saying, like, I would want someone who's very, very versed that's gonna protect me.
So you would choose the person that's been locked up for
absolutely,
absolutely not.
I definitely wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't have a firearm in the house. Probably,
I would. That would be a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Get your dog.
We got dogs. Really.
Well, Cedric, before we leave, tell our listeners, our viewers, tell everyone how they can contact you, how they can come to your program, how they can support your programs. You know, if they got a family member that's in need, like, how do one reach you?
Well, right now, you can go on my Facebook page and you can follow me and see the events that I got coming up. But I'm doing a soft launch in a couple of weeks. and there will be more information provided. But again, I'm old school. We don't have to go through no whole bunch of red tape. My number is 312-841-6431. I am a connection specialist, you know what I mean? And so it's like, if I don't have the resources for you, I guarantee you I know who got them. I can put the keys in the car, but you got to start it up.
I love that. So Dora, tell us your next upcoming events and how that our listeners can get in touch with you if they necessarily wanted to. I know you're going to use discernment.
We'll pass out your card, right?
Well, no. I've had this number since my phone number 773-512-2820. If you're looking to get into construction, do not call me. What you can do is go to my website, www.womeninconstructionofil.com, and then we can go from there. If you're looking to purchase my book, go to www.imtbrown.com. It's the power of approval, overcoming adversity to achieve greatness, where I am the actual self-publisher for this book. And if you're looking to get into some work, if you need some work, job placement, then you can go to www.tmbltd.com. That's Tedora Brown Enterprises, where we provide job placements for individuals, even ex-cons. And that's where Miss Lady over here, she and I was talking about. But,
yes.
And if you're looking, one more other thing. If you have property taxes, okay? Everybody knows that their property taxes have reached a 25% high rate in Cook County. Yes. You may be seeing me as running for the Cook County assessor.
And that I love because
please give me your card, because I want to make sure I vote.
Yes, we're going to be on the road over here.
I failed to mention that Dora was she has a publishing company too. So we got off into that. She has a publishing company. So I failed to mention that she's self-published, and I love it. I'm Sharon Locke of Love Loans and Lifestyle. Give me a call at 312-937-6227. We have an upcoming Brokers and Bullets Conceal and Carry class if you're interested. I still have the price reduced for that class. Right.
How much is it?
It's $99.
Oh wow.
So yes, it's reduced for that class. Crystal, our co-host Crystal Lewis, and I are doing this together. So it's Brokers and Bullets, 844-426-6232. If you're missing our Alexis,
Acer.
Arce.
Yes. At CoutureMusicManagement.com.
Yes, that's where she is. And if you need to reach out to Crystal, she's Crystal Lewis under all social media platforms, and you can reach her at PowerCircleInvestments.com.
Hi, great big world, and this is Shavonna out here. You already know I'm on all social media platforms under Anointed Accounting. Website is www.ANOINTEDACCOUNTING.com. That number is 312-837-7219. I'm looking forward to talking to you and solving all of your financial and business needs. Cedric Frison, I want to thank you for coming out. Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for this enlightenment about this transform platform and all your accolades.
We appreciate you, Cedric. Thank you for tuning in to the Super Business Women Show. We'll see you next Saturday, 3 to 5. Have a great week.
Now
see you, great big world.
The next offenders to vote for you.
Yeah. Listen,
that same million I'm talking about, I have vote.
Hey, Dr. Fortune.
That's why when you said that, I'm like, we need to work together.
Definitely, and look, I was dragging on it. I had started it, but I just kept on working in other areas. And
thank y'all for tuning in. I'll see y'all next week. I'll be back to respond to y'all.
20%. That's
insane. It's crazy.
And that's where it affects you the most.
But
they don't know that though.
Look at the company. Why wouldn't they lose that? This is a souvenir for you, and my service on the back of it.
Okay, got it.
But look, think about it. They lost.
He said she used to have a show this way.
You said that too.
Hey, listen, this is beautiful.
I know that is.
Yes.
I know it is. I need your card to
I had a good time.
I can't tell. It must have went on.
In my bag.
I need your card, girl.
Well, I need your
I had a good time.
I definitely got you.
Yeah, we're gonna challenge each other. That's right. Cause so yeah,
and respectfully, that's the thing.
Man, and guess what though? Y'all might have us a show. We might still start a show.
battery
Yeah,
it probably died.
You know you get me in trouble, right? Because we said Johnny make boats. You know she gonna cuss us out.
Oh man, I ain't even. Let's just everything turned out fine. It was a bunch of people.
She came to the window.
Who said that? Hey, y'all finna check out, man. This was crazy. I had fun though. You know? Hey, look at this. U.C.U.S. Somebody missing a heel.
Yeah, let's pull out my purse.
Heels right there.
Now let's pull out my purse.
Oh.
You want my card? Where your phone at? Chris, can you give me one of them cards out?
All right, y'all, man. I can't wait to get in these comments because boy, my phone lit up.
Yeah, because you got 12,000 followers. Millions. I got 10 friends.
Hey, y'all, I'm gonna go break this down and I have to decipher this and see how this discussion with me.
My phone? Yes, get your phone.
I'm gonna hit y'all back in a minute, y'all. Did she call my whole name?